And there's a nice one for the can. Beautiful colours on these squid, just awesome colours when they're straight out of the water. Great fish.
That's a 3.5 Keimura in the pink. And he's got that way down. I can feel his beak crunching on the prongs.
Keimura is designed to reflect UV light. So you run out of sunlight sometimes in the water, but UV light is still working its way down, and the Keimura reflects that light. So you still get the benefit of having that attraction on the fish. And there's no doubt that it works on the squid. They're fantastic.
No, they are dynamite on squid.
Well, these jigs that we're using today are the Shimano jigs, the Cephia Eggy Exile. And they come in 4 sizes. A 2.5, 3, 3.5 and 4, that's smallest to largest. And they also come in a wide range of colours. And what they all have in common is a sink rate. They all sink approximately a metre every 2 to 3 seconds. It depends on the strength of your leader, the length of your leader and the line that you're using. But typically we don't fish much lighter than about 12 pound leader, and Power Pro 8 pound to 15 pound is widely used on these jigs. That feels like a pretty good one here on the white Keimura. Again, that Cole's favourite, we probably should call it. Now this squid has been caught on the shortest rod in the Cephia rod range. It's actually a 6'10" 2-piece boat rod. It's ideal for this sort of fishing. Any sort of close work, close casting in around the boat, and also when you've got the lures trailing the boat, effectively trolling, this is an ideal rod for the purpose. And all the rods in the range have quite a light action through here. There's not a lot of power through the bottom half of the rod because you simply don't need it when you're squid fishing. Swing this one in and have a look. There we go. Another beautiful looking squid. Once again, he's taken that white Keimura colour well in. The other thing about these lures is, for quite a simple looking item, there's an awful lot of designing and quality engineering that goes into them. The subtle parts of the action, the relation of the size of the eyes and the balance of the lure, the sharpness and the durability of the hooks, the location of the small luminous parts, such as the tape around the tail here, are all aspects of a really good lure design, but most importantly, they certainly trounce the cheap copies. The rods we're using today are the Shimano Cephia range. There's 4 models to choose from. They start with a 6'10" shorter rod, which is ideal for boat fishing, right up to an 8'3", nice long casting rod for fishing off the shore. And the 2 in the middle are both 7.5 footers, and they come in a medium and a light medium rod, depending on what you prefer in your squid rod, and also if you use mainly larger lures or lighter lures. They all have the same sort of action. That is, they're not terribly strong in the bottom half, but they are tuned in the tip section so that they'll give you great distance and easy casting with these large heavy squid jigs. There's some other design aspects of these rods which are very important. Firstly, the graphite we used is a high modulus graphite. It's very sensitive in the hand, it balances well, and it's light and it casts very easily. The guides we've selected for these rods are mainly low profile, small ring guides. Now this allows for a good passage of line during the cast, and they're also very lightweight, which makes the rods even more balanced in the hand. Now down this end of the rod is also very important. As you can see, the reel position's quite high. Now this is so you can easily do a double-handed cast all day. There's a lot of casting involved in most squid fishing, and you can do it easily and comfortably. You don't have to be pushing the rod to get that distance. The handle is a very low profile, ergonomic design. So when you've actually got it in the palm of your hand, between your fingers like that, it's totally comfortable. That's important in a long session because the rod will just disappear in your hand and you'll be able to concentrate on the lure end. Lastly, we've got a purpose-designed hook keeper, which is nice and easy to slip the hooks of your Cephia lure into, and it's really important when you're travelling from one spot to another, regardless of whether that's putting the rod into a rod holder or just carrying it along the bank.
As we've mentioned with the rods, they've been purposely designed. You also need a reel to match it. And Shimano have developed the new CI4 range. They're a carbon infused graphite. We have the Stratic 1000 FML here, and we have the new Ranium 2.5. Depending on what rod you choose, whether it's the 610 boat, the 7.6 or the land-based, it depends on the size reel you want. They've also been designed with nice Hyperline ergonomic handles, and they have the propulsion line management system. On the top of the spool here, it has a nice angle on it. And with casting and the jigging techniques we use with squidding, sometimes you do get loose braid on the spool, and that prevents getting air knots or wind knots as they call it. So if squidding something you want to get into, CI4 reels, Cephia AU rods are a perfect match.
Well guys, that was a fantastic session on the squid here down in South Australia. Really great with the tackle, it all worked perfectly well, but there's still one thing we're yet to resolve. Salt and pepper squid or bait?
Bait. Salt and pepper squid.
Salt and pepper squid.
Yeah.
See you, Chris.